I'm a spiritual intuitive. My name is Lisa. That's why you're here. And I am also a soul guide and I work with the vibrational realms. So my focus is vibration, manifestation, and soul transformation. So that's what I'm about. I'm really just honored to do God's work. So, any questions before we get going with the collective messages? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, and I'm going to ask both of you, if you don't mind, just to mute your mics for this part, just so sometimes when I start speaking, the microphones can get a little wonky um, for the recording. So I'll just have you mute for now, and then we'll unmute when I do your individual readings. So the first theme that was coming through for collective energy was around asking. Asking for guidance, asking for what we want, asking for support, and allowing ourselves to find safety in the ask. It's something that I've been working on in my own journey at many different layers. And often what happens is that we're conditioned into feeling guilty or ashamed or not worthy or not deserving when we want something or when we're asking for help or guidance or whatever it may be. So the asking for it is a huge, courageous step. And I want to honor that here tonight. There was something that that drew you here that you've been asking about. So I also want to honor and acknowledge that you're already in that process of allowing yourself to ask and receive. And so when we allow ourselves to ask and then receive the support on the other end, it's this energy around being led, being led, being led by a higher power, being led by our soul, being led by a force that is greater than us in our human mind. So often we get stuck in the thinking and the overthinking and the overanalyzing and the hows and the whys and the what are we going to do and the planning 5 years in advance, when really the next hour or 2 hours is full of unknown, right? There's so much unknown in our world. So allowing ourselves to ask and then receive that support is really important to deepen our practice and connection with ourselves. And as we flow forward on the journey, as so many energies continue to shift, we are in a massive time of awakening. This is not new, but we're in a very pivotal shift right now over the next 6 months, where we're really being guided to say, okay, we're moving in this direction. It's a whole new direction, and lead me, guide me, show me the way. I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your guidance. And I'm also going to let myself receive. We're going to let ourselves receive what wants to come through. Feeling safe in your body to do so. It is safe to ask. It is safe to receive. It is safe to be supported at higher levels. The next piece is surrendering our control. We as humans love to get in our own way. We love to, again, overthink it, but it's more of we want to know and we want to know and we want to know it all right now. We want to know it all yesterday, and we want to have it all figured out. And it's this energy of controlling it, right? Our egos love control. Oh, do our egos love control? They are just like, we want to be in the driver's seat and we've got this and no one is going to tell me differently. I'm just like, I'm on it. We're going and we're doing the things. And spirit says, but we have the bigger picture. So maybe if you take a deep breath and sit yourself back and surrender a little bit, the GPS can take you to where you actually want to go instead of these divine detours. So when the ego gets in the way, we have more divine detours, which are all perfect and beautiful because we're learning as we go, right? So there's no wrong turns. We're just learning as we go. But there are more turns that maybe are not necessary as we are going and flowing. So when we allow ourselves to sit back a little bit more and surrender a little bit more and say, okay, spirit, lead me, guide me, show me the way, allowing these unexpected things to show up and say, okay, what are you teaching me? What is this showing me? And coming from that space of being the student of life. So surrendering your control, allowing the changes to happen for you naturally, allowing things to unfold more easily, and loosening our grip on that wheel and saying, okay, I'm just gonna, we're gonna cruise control through this, right? We're gonna cruise control, which is surrendering. We're still in the driver's seat, but it's a little bit more fluid. So whatever you need to do to take a deep breath and sit back and say, okay, ego, I see you. I see that you want to control it all. I see that you want to know it all right now. I see this. And also, you don't have the bigger picture. So I'm going to sit back and let spirit do the rest when unexpected things show up for us. The next one is illuminating our shadows. So when we explore beneath the surface of our soul, when we are going through life, and one of the other themes is our external experiences mirroring what's inside of us. So I'm going to talk about both of those together, I guess. So when our deeper aspects of the soul are coming up to be explored and coming up to be illuminated, those aspects of our healing, those aspects of our wounding, those things that we really don't want to look at because they're uncomfortable and they're stretchy and they're edgy and they're yucky, and we just kind of want to run away from them and we want to hide and we want to suppress. Those shadows are coming up to be illuminated so that we are able to have space for the higher versions of ourselves. When our shadows come up to be illuminated, it's part of our rise. It's part of our evolution. It is part of the process of our soul's growth. We have to allow those things to surface. We have to be willing to look at those shadows and say, okay, this is mirroring something to me that I couldn't yet see. And now that I'm able to see it, now that I have awareness of it, now that I'm allowing myself to even surrender with it and walk through these transformative fires, this bigger picture on the other side, this evolution, this rise is waiting for you. So coming into this knowingness of the deeper I go, the higher I rise, and any of the shadows that are being illuminated and presenting to you right now are supporting your journey forward. They are supporting your ultimate overall soul evolution. And the way that these shadows are going to be illuminated, I almost said eliminated because elimination is also part of the process, right? As they become illuminated, we then can eliminate them. And so elimination is part of the process. But when we have these external experiences that are showing up and they're maybe a little wonky or they're maybe a little unexpected or they're making you question things like, what is this all about? What is happening here? It's mirroring something else within you. It's mirroring that deeper layer within you. So be the observer of what are those mirror reflections? What are the people, the places, the experiences, the circumstances in your world? What are they reflecting back to you? What aspects of you are being shown? What do you need to see in these to evolve, eliminate, and rise into and or complete a karmic loop and a karmic cycle. Which leads me to the next energy theme. Where we are right now, again, collectively, we are ushering in a whole new vibrational wave. We are moving out of the Piscean age. We are moving into the age of Aquarius. And these vibrations are different. They're like vastly different. It is a world that we have not yet lived in. It is a world that we have not yet seen in our lifetimes. And it's also soul known to us on a deeper level. We came here for this. We know what we're doing. We know what we're heading for. And we've got the codes inside of our hearts to navigate this. But it's new for us as humans. And it's new for us as souls. We haven't been in this full experience before. So karmic contracts are ending. They're completing, they're done. The things that are not coming with you into this whole new era and this whole new age are ready to be let go, and they're ready to be completed. Some of the karmic agreements or karmic contracts that are closing have to do with our belief systems, what we once thought was true, what we once adopted as illusion or disempowered things that we've just said, okay, this has been fine for now. We've been going in these programs and we've been walking in these stories, but ultimately that's not where our soul wants to go. So we're being asked to close these karmic contracts and loops of our belief systems that no longer serve our highest path forward, that do not empower us, that do not serve us, that are not fully anchored in the heart, that are making us think in spirals and in loops that keep us in the same place instead of saying, oh, this is the loop and I'm done with that thought pattern. I'm done with that consciousness. I'm done with that energy, because all thought is consciousness. So when we quit that conscious thought pattern and we say, oh, I'm aware of this, okay, goodbye, and we choose a higher thought, and we choose a higher feeling, and we choose a higher belief, and then we align our behavior with that, we transcend these karmic loops. And I know this is a deep concept and it's multi-layered, but grounding it into a practical piece here is each conscious choice you make is making a difference. Every conscious choice, every thought that you're thinking, you can't be conscious of every thought, right? Like that's just unrealistic. But as many thoughts as you can identify, as many energies that you're playing in that you can identify, as many beliefs that you can say, oh, do I want to keep this? Or is it time to eliminate it? Is this still serving me? Or do I want to eliminate it? And one of the best ways to do this for yourself, listen to your own words. What are the words that you're using to describe your life? What are the words that you are just using to describe our society as a whole? What are the words that you are using when you speak about yourself or about others or about circumstance? Really paying attention to the words that you're using and the words that you're speaking. And start to catch yourself. Be like, is that actually true for me? Do I want to keep this? Is this actually ultimately what I want to bring with me? Or is there a limiting pattern, a limiting belief here that I'm ready to dissolve and let go of so that I can rise into a higher version of myself? The next piece is this energy of going with the elimination is simplicity. What can you now eliminate to support you in grounding in? What's calling more of your energy, your intention, and your attention that will be more supportive for you? So the energy of simplicity, less is more. Really sitting with, what do we have to let go of, and how can we simplify? How can we simplify anything in our lives? That might be physical things, physical clutter. It could be energetics. It could be what you're consuming, what you're reading, what you're listening to, who you're subscribing to, for lack of a better word. Allowing yourself to find this energy of simplicity and to ground in, that will support you in eliminating any energetic drains or any leaks in your energy where you're putting your focus it's really not serving and not supporting you. So welcoming in this energy of simplicity and less is more will also support you in these karmic completions. It's going to support you in illuminating what's ready to come forward for you. And it's going to support you in a deeper connection, ultimately, with your soul, with your heart, and with source. The last thing here that has been very, very loud is this energy in our collective that we always seek to fix. It's almost like we see problems in everything, right? We have this human condition that's problems, 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 problems. Solve it, solve it, solve it, solve it. Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, right? It's natural. It's innate in us to have this vantage point and this perspective of fixing it, problem solving, moving on. And one of these loud messages that I've also been working with is, what if we allowed ourselves to not fix it because so much is wrong and everything is a problem, and instead said, this is making me feel something internally. And I'm going to connect to that feeling inside of my body. And I'm going to let this feeling be my teacher. When we allow ourselves to feel, when we drop back into the body and allow ourselves to feel instead of fix it, what we will notice is that is emotional energy that just wants to move. The fix it, problem solving energy is just emotional energy that's wanting to move. And so when we allow ourselves to sit with it, to feel into it, to be with it and let it move, whether it's desirable or undesirable, challenging, uncomfortable, intense, whatever those waves are, there's something, a feeling sense internally that is asking to be moved. So shifting out of the fix it and into the feel it is also going to connect you deeper with your body, with your heart, with your soul, and with your highest path forward. Because that is also supporting the elimination of any excess, supporting the simplicity, supporting the surrendering and letting control, wanting to control how we feel or wanting to control our emotional energy. All of these things are very intertwined, right? So when we allow ourselves to feel and express and move that energy, when we find safety in that, we return to the core of why we're here on this earth plane at this time, which is the heart. We are here to expand and grow in love. We are here to expand and grow in our hearts. And so the last collective message here is returning to the heart, returning to the why behind it all, for you as an individual and for us in this new collective energy wave. The why of it all, the purpose, the passion, the joy, the love, the service, the pleasure of the experience of being alive, being in this human body, right? All of this is at the core of the heart. So as we navigate these energies over the next few days, few weeks, few months, even the next few years, it's going to continue to just, roll in all together. The core of it all is returning to the heart, strengthening the connection with the heart and your why behind it all. Collectively, the why behind it all for each of us, which will be expressed differently because we are unique individuals. So we each have our own unique expression of that why, of that heart energy. And as we center into more of that, as we allow ourselves to unravel those layers and sink deeper into the heart, our collective energy will rise more in the heart. So it starts within first, and then it radiates out into the collective. It's always an inside job, and then we radiate it out. So by default, when we are connecting with our own heart energy, when we are doing the soul work ourselves, in whatever capacity that looks like on your own journey and your own ways of expressing yourself and your life force and your gifts and your beauty and all that makes you, you naturally are going to emanate and radiate that light and that love out into others. And so this is a reminder for each of us that our role here is to continue rising in our light and continue rising in our love. We illuminate these shadows, we rise in love, we rise in light, we ask for support when we need it, we find the simplicity and eliminate what no longer serves us. We set ourselves free from these karmic loops. We find safety in feeling and expressing ourselves instead of running and fixing it. And we allow our external experiences to show us those mirrors that then deepen our connection to the heart and to the why of it for each of us. Such big, beautiful, powerful work that we are here to do and here to be. So I also want to honor you for being here and for walking this journey of a spiritual path. It is not for the faint of heart. It is for the light and love warriors that we are. And it's making a significant difference in all of the lives that you individually touch and connect with already. Your own ripple effect, that magnitude, is beyond words and beyond worlds, significant, important, and meaningful. Just by you being, just by you breathing, just by your life. So thank you. Thank you for being here. From me, from we. And yeah. Okay. So those were the collective energies. That was powerful. So before